You're welcome to our Open Heaven Daily Reading. Today being Monday, June 3rd, our topic says, More Than Grace. Our memory verse is taken from Romans chapter 6, verse 1. What shall we say then? Shall we continue in sin, that grace may abound? Our reading for today is taken from John chapter 5, from verses 8 to 14. May you remain blessed as you listen. God is love. 1 John 4 verse 8. But he is also a consuming fire. Hebrew 12 verse 29. Many people are on his consuming side, but they think they are on his loving side. Don't be deceived by those who tell you that once you are a child of God, you can behave anyhow. They usually say so because the Bible says that grace came through Jesus. John 1:17. However, the Bible did not say that Jesus is grace, because Jesus is far more than grace. He brought grace, but you will never find anywhere in the Bible that says that Jesus is grace. If Jesus was full of grace alone, John 1:14 would have said full of grace and stopped there, but it went further to add truth. In John 14:6, Jesus said, I am the way, the truth, and the life. He never said, I am grace. When many of my children want to be funny, they will draw a caricature of me wearing a bow tie, holding a tambourine. No matter how funny the drawing looks, when people see the bow tie and tambourine, they will know that the drawing was made in reference to me. I'm usually seen with a tambourine, but I am not the tambourine. Let us assume that the tambourine makes me smile at you. If I have the tambourine in my hands and I am relating with you and you do something wrong, I can decide to put down the tambourine, stop smiling, and scold you. In Titus 2:11-12, the Bible says that grace brought salvation to us, teaching us to deny all ungodliness and worldly lust. When someone is ungodly and embraces worldly lust in the name of grace, that fellow has rejected the salvation that came by grace, and as such, will see the consuming side of God. Beloved, I advise you to be wise. Enjoy the grace of God, but don't take it for granted. Even though Jesus is full of grace, if a person takes that grace for granted, he will show the fellow his consuming side. Make up your mind never to frustrate God's grace upon your life. Galatians 2:21. God's grace is meant to help you overcome sin. It is not a license to dwell in sin. Do exploits for the kingdom with the grace that God has made available to you through Jesus Christ. Be like Apostle Paul, who said that the grace of God was what made him to do all he did for God. 1 Corinthians 15:10. Key point for today: God's grace is not an excuse to sin. Brethren, I pray that we will not take God's grace for granted, so that He will not show us His consuming side. Bye for now and remain blessed.